Review of nutrients, Part 1. The body uses 6 kinds of nutrients: water, proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, and minerals. We also get calories from certain nutrients. 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrate equals 4 calories. 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories, and 1 gram of alcohol equals 7 calories. Although alcohol is not a nutrient, it does provide calories. Now let's look at water. The body needs more water than any other nutrient. In fact, water is also the predominant nutrient in most foods. When we look at the human body, for adults, it's 50 to 60% water. For a child, 65% water. And for an infant, about 75 to 78% water. You need about 6 to 8 glasses of water per day. The good news is that water does not contain calories, and you get water through drinking liquid foods and beverages. Water is lost from the body through urine, sweat, bowel movements, and other bodily functions. Beverages containing alcohol and caffeine, such as coffee, tea, and colas, have a diuretic effect. This means that they cause the body to lose water, so you should be careful about how many of these types of beverages you drink. When you exercise and sweat hard, your body loses even more water. Thus, it's important to drink water before, during, and after a workout. So let's look at the functions of water. Water helps to digest, transport, and absorb nutrients, maintain fluid balance, regulate body temperature, and lubricate your joints. Carbohydrates, or carbs. Carbohydrates are the body's fuel source, the main fuel source for your body, and it is the foundation of most human diets. It also means that it's the body's main source of energy or calories, and it is an important part of a healthy diet, regardless of what you may hear from popular diets. Muscles depend on carbohydrates during intense workouts, and carbs are a readily available source of energy to your body when you're working out, and that is because they're stored as glycogen in the liver and muscles for short-term use. Simple sugars are a type of carbohydrates. And simple sugars include monosaccharides and disaccharides. Monosaccharides have 1 molecule of simple sugar, whereas disaccharides have 2 molecules. Simple sugars are also called empty calories because they provide calories but no nutrients. However, they can lead to weight gain and tooth decay. When you eat foods that are high in simple sugars, sugar enters your bloodstream quickly and gives you a burst of energy, or that familiar sugar high. Examples of foods and beverages high in sugar: cookies, candy, cake, pie, desserts in general, fruit juices, and juice drinks. There are also many different names for sugar. So when you look at the ingredient list on your food labels, you may see words like white sugar, brown sugar, cane syrup, corn sweetener, fructose, high fructose corn syrup, glucose, honey, maple sugar, molasses, turbinado, and confectioner's sugar, but there are many more. We also have complex carbohydrates. These are called starches, and they take longer to digest than simple sugars. Most of the food we eat should come from complex carbs like bread, noodles, cereals, and rice. And we want to make sure that these are the whole grain variety. We should limit the intake of processed carbs such as white bread and white pasta and choose the whole grain versions instead. Fiber. Fiber is indigestible complex carbohydrate. And fiber is found in the structural components of plants. They cannot be absorbed by the body. And even though they're good for us, hallelujah, they do not provide calories. Carbohydrates, fiber prevents constipation, regulates blood sugar, and it also protects against heart disease and high cholesterol, in addition to certain forms of cancer. Fiber prevents constipation, regulates blood sugar, and protects against heart disease, high cholesterol, and certain forms of cancer. There are two types of dietary fibers, soluble and insoluble, and each has a different function. And your diet should include both. Soluble fiber is believed to be beneficial in lowering blood cholesterol and protecting against heart disease. So what are the sources of soluble fiber? Oatmeal and oat bran, fruits and fruit skins, vegetables and vegetable skins, beans, peas, So what are some sources of soluble fiber? Oatmeal and oat bran, fruits and fruit skins, vegetables and vegetable skins, beans, peas, seeds, and seed husk like psyllium. Insoluble fiber. Insoluble fiber speeds the movement of potentially carcinogenic substances through the digestive system. And insoluble fiber prevents constipation, hemorrhoids, diverticular disease, and colon cancer. So what are some of the sources of insoluble fiber? Whole grains, wheat bran, nuts and popcorn, fruits and vegetables with skin. Now, the recommendations for fiber will differ depending on the age as well as sex of the individual. Under age 50, 38 grams of fiber a day. Under age 50, Recommendations for fiber will vary by the sex of the individual as well as the age. Men under age 50, 38 grams a day. Women under age 50, 26 grams a day. Men over age 50, 30 grams a day, and women over age 50, 21 grams of fiber a day. Proteins. The adult body is made up of about 17% proteins. The body uses proteins to build and maintain muscles, bones, and other tissues. Next to water, proteins form the major part of lean body tissue. Proteins are made up of 22 amino acids, and amino acids are the small units necessary for growth and tissue repair. We need 20 different amino acids for our body to function. 9 of these amino acids are considered essential for humans. 8 are essential for adults, and one additional one, histidine, is essential for infants and children. So, the 9 essential amino acids are phenylalanine, valine, tryptophan, threonine, isoleucine, methionine, leucine, lysine, and histidine. So what are the functions of proteins? Well, proteins help with DNA synthesis, blood clotting, fluid balance, acid-base balance, cell repair, and hormone production. They also help with enzyme production, visual processes, transportation of substances in the bloodstreams, immune function, and energy production. Now let's look at protein quality, because not all proteins are created equal. Animal and plant proteins differ in their proportion of essential and non-essential amino acids. Animal proteins, except gelatin, are considered high quality or complete proteins. Individual plant sources are considered low quality or incomplete proteins because they do not contain all of the essential amino acids. However, 2 plants are considered to be complete proteins, soybeans and quinoa, because they contain sufficient amounts of the essential amino acids. The RDA for protein translates to about 8 to 10% of total calories. This is important to note because we tend to consume a lot of protein in the American diet, and excess protein is stored as fat. Intakes that more than double this RDA may also cause health problems.